Giant Squid is a small game development company. Our first game was Abzu. As an indie developer, you have to find a niche, something that people aren't doing. Try to make games that are atmospheric and take you somewhere that's really immersive and beautiful, but gives you something to think about at the end. Pathless is an adventure game. It's about the relationship between a hunter and an eagle as they explore a forest full of cursed beasts. For us, it's a game that extends our philosophy from Abzu forward, but incorporates more traditional gameplay elements. The Pathless has a focus on creating accessible controls.
The controls are not a barrier for expressing yourself the way you want to as that character in the game. So in Abzu, it meant you could swim around freely, you could flip and turn upside down, and you never felt like you couldn't perform the behaviors you wanted to perform. And in Pathless, it's a similar thing, except the character now, instead of being a diver, the character's an archer. And the hunter doesn't have to think about aiming because she's an expert. So we don't want the player to have to think about aiming because we want them to feel like an expert. We want them to think about what are they shooting at and why are they shooting it.
When we started Giant Squid, it was just me sitting in a room full of desks, and I had to figure out how to get a game up and running by myself. And I'm a visual person. I know a little bit of math, but I'm not a programmer. Our focus is on visuals as a first step to get that sense of atmosphere established very quickly, and doing that in Unreal Engine was straightforward.
One of the things that makes Unreal really cool is that you can rapidly prototype. So you can use blueprints to get something working quickly without having to dig into the nitty-gritty of how it's implemented. And then beyond that, you can take those prototypes and then you can make native code. And because Unreal provides full access to the source code, you can really easily make it functional and performant and fast. As a studio, Giant Squid tends to do a lot of heavy shader development. We do a lot of custom shaders and crazy shader math. And the shader scripting tool in Unreal is perfect for that because it takes some of that burden off of the programmers and the tech art people and not have to write them all from first principles.
Every single task that we think about, we have to think, is this going to be worth the cost of creating it? What tools do we use? What engine do we use? These are all things that in a small indie studio really have to think about a lot, because if you make the wrong choice, you might be done. Unreal Engine has been a great choice for us because it allows us to focus on developing our game rather than spending a lot of time trying to build an engine to make the game. Achieving the emotional connection with the characters or with other players or with the world is something that's very difficult to do, and it's difficult to articulate how to do it. One of the most surprising and rewarding elements of creating Abzu was that we received a lot of fan mail telling us that this game had given them an experience that moved them in a way that they weren't expecting. When the Pathless ships, we hope that we'll create another experience that brings that quality to players.